Hi, this is Bryce with Frostbite Cosplay. I've had a couple of people ask me to do a quick tutorial on how to seal EVA foam props and armor with Plastidip. Now, myself, normally when I'm building with EVA foam, I actually seal my props with Monster RD407 mask latex. I find I get a little bit better results with that than I do with Plastidip. However, it does require some specialty equipment like a critter spray gun, an air compressor, and it's a little more technical to use. So for beginners, Plastidip is a great resource. It's readily available, it's fairly inexpensive, and it's pretty easy to use. There's a lot of different ways to do this, but this is what I've found works best for me. So first things first, make sure you're taking care of your lungs. You're going to want to wear a respirator and do this in a well-ventilated area. Normally I would do it in my spray booth, but the lighting in there doesn't film very well, so we're going to do it here. I'm going to just prep my workspace to make sure that I don't make a mess everywhere. Make sure I turn my exhaust fan on as well. Okay, so I've got this Titanfall carbine that I threw together real quick out of some scrap foam I've had sitting around, and a template from Andrew DFT that I printed out a long time ago and never built. So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how to Plastidip this. If you're interested in the template, I'll put a link in the description where to find his video with all of his templates. Now for Plastidip, before you use it, you want to put it in a cup of warm tap water for about 10 minutes just to warm the Plastidip itself up. You'll get a lot smoother spray that way and a lot better coat. So we're going to go ahead and just let that do its thing, warm up a bit. Now before we Plastidip and seal our props, you're going to want to go through with a heat gun and just make sure that that your entire thing is sealed well. What you're doing here is you're trying to close all of the open pores in the EVA foam, and if you look, as you go over a piece of raw foam with this heat gun, you can see that it kind of changes texture a little bit there, gets a little shinier. That's how you're going to be able to tell that it's heat sealed well and ready to be Plastidipped, or however you're sealing your piece. Now I've already gone through and done this with this carbine here. So now what I do is with my warm Plastidip, first make sure it's spraying well, and I paint in half passes. So we're going to go through to where half of the stream of Plastidip covers my part, and then it overlaps where half of it is painting new foam and half is painting that's already done. And we're just going to keep going back and forth like that, just doing those half passes. That's going to give a nice, smooth, even coat with good coverage. So we'll go through, just real nice and simple. Like I said, just those half passes. Now once you've got that done, we'll go in any place that's got angles that were missed and just kind of hit it real quick. You don't want to put a lot on here because you want to make sure you're not putting any drips or inconsistencies in the coat. Plastidip will self-level a little bit, but it's not something that you want to really rely a ton on. And so we'll go ahead and just hit those areas real quick. Make sure we get all of the corners and such. Now this is going to have to sit and dry for a little while before we flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Alright, and there we have it. We've went ahead, flipped it over, did the same thing to the other side, made sure we got all of the edges, and here's our finished piece, Plastidipped and ready to paint. Now, when I Plastidip, I like to use Vallejo airbrush paints or just any good quality acrylic paint to finish the coat. And that's all there is to it. Thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see you next time.